Hey there, People Stack friends. It's a new week. It's a new topic. And when I was thinking about what the topic of the week could be, I was considering some of the frequently asked questions that we get, particularly from people like you who are listening. Thank you if you're a listener. If you're a long-time listener, short-time listener, thank you. We certainly hope that you're getting value out of listening to the People Stack podcast. And when we get the chance to speak with some of you, what are some of the frequently asked questions? And one of them is quite simply, who are your clients? Like, can you tell me a little bit more about their stories? And so that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to tell you even more about some of our clients' stories to inspire you, and so that you can follow in their footsteps as well. And so that you can answer that question of, will this work for me? That's really what's at the heart of like deciding whether or not to get help, right? So one of the reasons why the vast majority of you are listening, and I know this because people have told me this, right? But also because I've been there too. Like when you're looking for help, you want to upgrade your career, you want to get that promotion, you want to get that raise, land that next job, and you know you need help with it. You're out there searching for that help. Or maybe you're out there searching, you're not quite sure that you need help yet or not. But the question inevitably comes, okay, I think I maybe kind of sort of found someone, or maybe I'm almost certain that I found someone that could help me. Will this work for me? And it's at the heart of why a lot of people decide not to get the help, because they don't think it's going to work for them. Oh, it worked for this person and that person and the other person, but it's not going to work for me because my situation is way too complicated. It's too different from all the other clients that they've probably worked with. It's way too thorny. There's way too much going on. It's just, I have a level of chaos and nonsense and other things that are going on in my life. There's certain things that are going on in my life personally. There's certain things about me that just make me too different, right? I'm older. They've never worked with people who are older. I'm younger. They've never worked with people who are younger. I'm differently abled in terms of my learning. They've never worked with someone like that before. They never worked with someone who doesn't have white skin before. They've never worked with someone who has 20 years of experience, who has zero experience. And so what I want to do is show you, what we're going to do this week is share with you 3 client stories. 3 clients, 3 stories. And we've done it before. If you follow what I've written in videos that I've shared, we've done like client testimonial videos, we've done client case study videos where we'll highlight one person. And while I think that's extremely inspiring and can help you to answer the question of, will this work for me? It's really powerful to put 3 people right next to each other. And so you could see the diversity. You could see how different they are and yet how the same they are. And you can see yourself in at least one of them, maybe all of them even. So will this work for you? Will the kind of help that we give here at the People Stack work for you? The answer is, I don't know. It requires some conversations. It requires commitment. It requires decisiveness. It requires resourcefulness. It requires showing up as coachable. It requires really wanting to get to the truth around what's not working in your career and wanting to build that dream career. It requires all of that. And because right now, honestly, I'm just talking to a computer screen, but really in my head, I'm talking to a group of people who I know that some of you that it absolutely will work for. We just haven't had the chance to speak with you yet. And for others, you don't know, so I don't know either, right? But the purpose of sharing these stories is to inspire you, for sure. Absolutely. So that you can see the depths of hell that some of our clients were in and the heights of heaven that they, with our help, were able to rise to. And so that you can see, if you follow in their footsteps and you're able to tap into the same superpowers that they tapped into, that yeah, it can and it will work for you too. So the 3 client stories that I want to share are from Sarah, Chuck, and Jane. So Sarah's story we've shared before. I've interviewed Sarah and I've shared a lot of the details of what her story is. So if you want to find out more of the details and you want to hear it from Sarah herself, you can go ahead and search for that interview. It's on YouTube. But I'll just share kind of the nuts and bolts and the basic heart of her story, which is that essentially she started off, before she worked with us, she was underpaid by an order of magnitude. She was burnt out and she didn't want to settle. She knew there was more and she was committed to getting more in her career, but she felt stuck. She felt really stuck. And so she committed to that and we started working together. And really what she was able to do was, now she's in product management and now she's positioned herself as a product leader, as a visionary product leader who is really one of the instrumental leaders in her company in terms of creating a product organization for that company. It didn't exist before she worked there. And she's a product leader in her community as well. She's spreading the product love throughout her community. And so she's been able to do that by tapping into that commitment and that sense of, I will not settle. So that's the brief version of Sarah's story. And what I'll say as I'm sharing all of these, it almost feels like I can't give the elevator version, because it almost feels like I'm almost doing their stories a disservice because there's so many different aspects of it. But I hope that you can even just see, like in Sarah's story, how that the heaven to hell journey, or actually no, the other way around. That's how they tell it in Hollywood, right? It's heaven to hell and then back to heaven. The hell to heaven journey, right? And maybe some of you can see yourselves in that. Maybe some of you are feeling really burnt out right now. Maybe some of you have ended up in the hospital, in the ER, talking to your doctor about burnout and what is burnout. Maybe I'm feeling burnout, or maybe you already know that you're feeling burnt out because of your career, because of work. And maybe some of you are feeling extremely underpaid. Maybe you're a woman who feels extremely underpaid and extremely underrecognized. And maybe you're one of those people, just like Sarah, who will not settle. That the idea of just living a ho-hum, this is just okay kind of existence is just not okay with you. You're not here to live a just okay life. You're here to live an extraordinary life, but you're just feeling stuck. You don't know your way out of it. You don't know your way out of the burnout. You don't know your way out of how to being underpaid. You don't know your way out of, I know product, or I know X, right? I know how to be an amazing engineering manager. I know how to be an amazing technical project manager. I know how to be, an amazing technical leader who's going to lead in a way that nobody else has before. And I have this unique skill set. I just don't know how to put it to use and how to get recognized for it. So that's Sarah's story. Then there's Chuck. And again, what I would ask you, the question that I would put out there is, which one resonates the most with you? Which one inspires you the most? So Chuck, I have interviewed. I have not yet released that interview quite yet, although we were working on that. And so his video interview will be released within the next few weeks or so. So you'll have a chance to hear from Chuck himself and hear his story in his own words. But essentially with Chuck, it was about the hell that he was in. He was feeling overworked. Working way too many hours. And with him, it's almost an understatement. He was working multiple jobs, I believe at least 2 jobs, just to make ends meet. And that's like a terrible place to be. And he knew that, and he was committed to getting out of that. And so maybe some of you are there now. Maybe you're working more than one job. Maybe you're working at one job, but you're like, you're having to do the jobs of like 2, 3, or 4 different people. So it feels like you're working 2, 3, or 4 different jobs. And you have 0 time outside of work. You're working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, or you don't even know how many hours a week that you're working. And it's just to make ends meet. It doesn't even feel worth it. That's where Chuck was. It wasn't worth it. He was putting in all of his time, putting in all of this energy. And for what? Just to be able to pay the bills. So he asked himself a similar question that Sarah asked herself, which was, how do I get out of this and how do I make sure I don't settle? I know there's more that's possible. How do I create it? And it was one of the great things about Chuck is that he is very future oriented. He's able to say, okay, this is what I know is possible in the future. What do I need to do to create it? And he may not use those exact words. Again, it almost feels like I'm doing it slight disservice because this is like, it's my perception as their coach of their story. And so that's why I want to make sure that we release lots of videos of our clients' stories so they can tell it in their words. But again, it's like, it's really powerful to have to have each of the stories next to each other so that you could see the similarities and you could also see the differences as well. So getting back to Chuck's story, he was overworked, also underpaid, but he knew something more was possible. And so we started working together and he decided to go out on the job market so that he could land his his dream job. And he set all the parameters. He said, this is my dream job. This is my dream salary. And definitely part of it was, I don't want to have to be working so much. I want to have balance in my life again. I want to have time freedom. That was a huge piece of it. So we started working together and he went on the job market. And within a matter of, it was less than 2 months, I believe it was about 6 weeks or so, he sends us a message basically saying, I just got an offer for my dream job. Can we talk about this? It was kind of a gut check conversation. And this has happened with a lot of our clients actually, where it's almost like, oh, wow, I've been visualizing this dream for so long and now it's right in front of me. Oh my God, is this real? Right? It's like, yes, it's real. Congratulations. Is there any reason why you wouldn't take it? Right? Let's take a look at it, right? We can come down from cloud 9 just for a moment, right? Let's celebrate it. But, what are the terms? And is this great? And does it meet your criteria? Does it exceed your criteria? And it was like, yes, hell yes, take the job. and it's great. And so what's awesome is Chuck has basically a senior leadership position for a tech startup right now. He is making a lot of decisions, having a lot of fun with it in terms of not just the tech, but in terms of the business side of stuff as well. So he's like on the front lines. He's the man at the table, and he's earning his dream salary, along with the fact that, and this is what was most important for him, that he has more time, more family time than he has ever had before. So that's Chuck's story. And the last story that I'll share is with a client who I have not yet interviewed, but I know that I will be very, very soon. Our client Jane, when she started working with us, and one of the reasons why she started working with us, so similar to Sarah, a woman in tech, strong, bold, courageous woman in tech who's drastically underpaid. I'm talking about there weren't enough zeros after it kind of a thing. It's a slight overemphasis on it, but by 50%. And so basically she was doing the job of a senior executive, but getting paid like a junior IC, like a junior individual contributor. And to make matters worse, she was in a culture where there was sexism and definitely other kinds of biases and discrimination going on as well. So because she was working with us, because she decided to get help, she felt bold, she felt even more powerful, and she quit. She quit. She said, I'm leaving. I can't take it anymore. And this was after months and months and months of trying but failing to really impress upon her boss and the other senior leaders, hey, I'm here. No one's recognizing me. Do you see how much work I'm doing? And now Jane has a quiet demeanor, but she's powerful. She's bold. She gets stuff done. She wins. And she quit. That got their attention. After she quit, she had a heart-to-heart with her boss, who then said, okay, you got my attention. First of all, you got my attention about the sexism. I know it's there, and I know that there is discrimination going on here, and I will not stand for it. And trust me, we are doing everything that we can to fix it, and thank you for bringing to this. I'm sorry that you're experiencing it, and thank you for bringing this to my attention. And he also, through a couple of different conversations, he basically offered her a VP level position with a 45% raise and the promise of equity. Jane, being the bold person she is, said, okay, I hear you, and negotiated up and she did get an offer for basically everything that she negotiated for, which was close to a 50% raise and actual equity. Not just options, not just the promise of it, but actual equity. And a slew of other bonuses and benefits as well. And here's the really cool part. As of today, she has not yet accepted that offer. As of the day of this recording, because she's on the job market. She quit. And she's actually gone through multiple rounds of interviews with several other hell yes jobs. She has an abundance of opportunities available to her right now. And that's because she stepped up and she said, I'm worth it. I'm worth more. So what I'm curious about for you, which of these stories resonates the most? Sarah's story of going from an underpaid, underrecognized product manager, burnt out product manager, to a visionary product leader who will not settle? Is it Chuck's? He went from working 2 jobs, working way too many hours, not having enough time with his family, only making enough to make ends meet, to landing his dream job as a technical and business leader with a strategic seat at the table, with his dream salary and more free time than he's ever wanted. Or maybe it's Jane, working in a toxic culture, also severely underpaid and severely underrecognized, to having multiple offers on the table, making 50% more than she was before. And now she has a choice. She has an abundance of options to work somewhere where she wants, where she's not just recognized and respected, but a valued member of a team. Which one resonates the most with you? What's your hell? What's your career hell that you want to get out of? And what's your career heaven that you want to aspire to and create? Will it work for you? Take a look at the values. Take a look at what abilities. Take a look at the character that is similar among Sarah and Chuck and Jane. That's what it takes. Decisiveness, commitment, resourcefulness, a willingness to not settle, a focus on the future, a focus on the possibilities, a focus on owning your worth. That's what it takes. So if you want to follow in their footsteps and you're ready to tap into all that and to call forth your ability to build your dream career and have a massive impact, follow in their footsteps, book a call. Their journey toward career transformation started with that single call with us, that single career strategy session. If you want to follow in their footsteps, book that call today. thepeoplestack.com/book. And we're going to talk about what's your career hell? What's not working in your career right now? We're going to get to the truth. And trust me, we're going to be here for you. We got you. And also trust me, we've heard it and we've seen it all. Whatever depths of hell you are going through right now, first of all, we want to get you out of it. But second of all, we've seen it all. We're here for you. We got you and we got you. The other thing we're going to talk about on that call, what's your career heaven? Where do you want to go? What do you want to build? What dream career, what dream life do you want to build? That's full of abundance and opportunity and more money and more recognition, more free time. Whatever it is, you know what it takes now. Can't just lean back and say, where's my dream? My dream hasn't been handed to me on a silver platter before. That's not what happened with Sarah. That's not what happened to Chuck. That's not what happened with Jane. They were not expecting their dreams to just be handed to them on a silver platter while they sit on their couch and eat bonbons. No, they got up, they did the work, the hard work to create that dream. If you're committed to doing that, then book a call with us today. thepeoplestack.com/book. So I hope these stories have been inspiring to you. And more than that, I hope these stories have inspired you to take action. Because that's really what it takes, is action. What's the next action step that you're committed to taking in the next 24 hours so you can build your dream career? That's the question that I will leave you with for the day. Take care, folks. Bye for now.